I didn't promise I wouldn't sing the Doom song, no.
I don't know what that is, so it'd be completely lost on me.
It's the Doom song. Doom doom de doom 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 de doom 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 de doom doom doom.
I gotta sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
Hello and welcome to episode 72 of the Character Unlock podcast. I'm hosting this week, and my name is John. With me is the man whose name you'd love to touch, but you mustn't touch, Andrew Brooker. How are you, Brooks?
Why would you want to touch my name?
It's a Simpsons quote. That's what I was going with.
Oh, okay. I don't.
So,
I don't watch Simpsons.
no,
Hi.
okay. Hi.
It's
And
almost as well known in this group as the Doom song.
yeah. And also joining us is some guy.
Oh, some guy. I like that, some guy. Hey, Jill, I saw you with some guy last night. Yes, he was some guy.
Hello.
Yes, that's the dulcet tones of Lee once again joining us because we just can't seem to get rid of him. But also because we played some games with him this week.
Like a scab that won't fall off, mate.
Exactly.
It's hanging there on an old bit of skin.
Yeah. Like a drug-resistant STD.
Aren't those the best kind?
Depends on where they are. If they're on other people, then yes. If they're around my anus, then no.
On all the other people. All of the other people who can't give it to you. That's the best place for them.
Yeah. Just keep your manky bits away from me, please.
Got it. Guys, we actually played some games together, like, in the last 2 weeks.
A lot, too.
No. We played a game together a lot.
Yeah. All right. We played one game, and it was pretty fun. I'll admit, even playing with Lee and having him, insult me pretty much constantly was relatively fun.
That is the most fun part of it, is abusing you while we play.
Yeah, you can't beat a bit of casual bullying.
Just a bit of casual cyberbullying. It's fine. I'm not suffering from crippling depression. It's all right.
Yeah, I'd halt it if I thought there was any mental health issues there.
But before we get into that, let's go over a little bit of casual news. Not that much has happened apart from Grid, whatever the fuck they're calling it. It's not even Grid 3. Cody's racing game.
Is it Grid Autosport?
I don't know.
Is it Grid Cars?
I don't know what it is. It's just Codemasters' next Grid game. I think it's just called Grid, even though they've already had Grid, Grid 2 and Grid Motors, Autos, whatever the fuck the other one was called. Yeah, it's been knocked back till October the 11th. I think it was. So, yeah, if you want a Codemasters racing game that isn't one of their Formula Ones or Dirt, it's slightly later in the year than it was previously anticipated.
What if I don't want a Cody's racing game?
Then you get to play the Lego Forza Horizon update?
What if I want another kind of Cody's game?
Where are we going with this?
I'm not going anywhere with it.
What other Cody's games are there?
Well, there aren't any anymore, but they still own the fucking rights to Operation Flashpoint, and I wouldn't say no to another Operation Flashpoint game.
Yeah? Surely they could... How do they still own the rights? Surely someone else owns those now. Anyway,
You could play an F1 game.
Yeah, that's coming out earlier this year than ever before, because it's coming out midway through the season instead of at the end.
That sounds fun. What about Dirt?
I don't know. You'll have to ask someone else
about racing games, don't they?
Yeah, Dirt, F1, and Grid are the
Was that
three
Onrush? Was
games.
that Onrush theirs as well? Last year. Yeah,
I
last
think
year.
it might have been, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I ever played Onrush.
No, I didn't either, but when I seen the video, it reminded me of Micro Machines, so I presume it's Codemasters.
I'm pretty sure they still own the rights to Micro Machines.
Was Onrush the one that looked like arcadey Burnout?
Yeah.
Or Burnout
Yeah.
Paradise? Yeah, I played that for a bit. It was alright, you know. It got tedious after a while because it was the same 3 tracks over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. But, you know, I played it on Game Pass, and there's a pick up and play, you know, crappy little arcade racer thing. It was alright.
Yeah, I think I've reached the limit of crappy arcade races, or just crappy races in general, in the last week and a half. But that's more for later. Any other? What was the other bit of news that we discovered?
PES 2019 got cancelled on PS Plus.
Oh yeah,
And
the power of fandom.
They've replaced it with Detroit Become Human, or what? Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
So do we know why?
I didn't bother reading, if I'm honest.
Probably because that PES game is almost an entire year old and doesn't need to be free. Because if you want it, you'll probably already own it. And if you don't want it,
65p in game on the used game shelves.
If you don't want it, you're probably not going to download it. Whereas there are probably still people who haven't played Detroit, and we're expecting some kind of first-party title to go into PlayStation Plus at some point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if I still had PlayStation Plus, I'd probably download Detroit Become Human, because for free, I would give it a play.
Yeah.
I think I actually own it on disc if you want to borrow it.
At some point, I might do, yeah. I want to play it. I was listening to Last Save Loaded podcast yesterday, actually, and they both played it, and they both seemed to enjoy it. You know, I'm not a big fan of David Cage games, but like I say, for free, I would have given it a bash.
For free, you'll play it, even if it's not finishing it like none of the other ones they've made.
Exactly.
I had my eye on it, because what's his face? He really liked it, didn't he? You know, we went EGX a couple of years back.
What's his face?
Oh, I can't remember his name. I got the train home with him. Well, my brain's like a sieve.
Jack.
Jack, that's it. Yeah, he was interested in it, weren't he? And he stood in the queue and waited to play it. So since then, obviously, I've had my eye on that since then, obviously. But I didn't bite the bullet to buy it because I wasn't overly fussed about Heavy Rain. I don't think I even finished that. I did quite like the other one, though, with
Alan Page.
Alan Page.
Beyond.
Beyond Two Souls. I quite enjoyed that one.
That one I didn't mind it. It was a bit long. I wasn't a fan of the way the narrative was put together, but it was okay. I quite like the whole ghost thing narrative it had. It was alright. I fucking hated Heavy Rain. With passion. Heavy Rain.
I gave up. I think I got to the first bit where I had to shake the controller. I was like, nah, I'm done.
I can't even remember how far I got, because I remember certain things, and then people have told me that other stuff's happened after that I remember.
I played the
remember
Groove version.
Oh god,
it was fucking ghastly. I played I played it when it first came out and went, "This is shit. I'm not playing this anymore." And then when I got my move, I was like, "I need games to play my move with." So I got Heavy Rain and Resident Evil 5, and they were both shit.
Yes.
Oh well. You do make these mistakes.
Don't know if you don't try, do you?
No, I suppose not. I've been married for a while now.
Wow.
Has she said it's a mistake yet?
Yeah, she said it a few times.
Every day. When she wakes up, when she goes to bed.
Yeah, see, mine just kind of wakes up in the morning, realises her eyes are still hurting from the amount I made them roll the night before, and goes, "Yeah, what the fuck am I doing with you?" And this is quite a regular conversation.
Yeah, divorce is a lot of paperwork, though, mate.
It is. It's expensive. It means at least one person has to move, and I don't like that.
That's true. Ape Escape tease on Twitter last week.
Teasing Ape Escapes.
Yeah, so they posted a high-res picture of a Ape Escape monkey hiding behind a tree. So I think there might be a possibility that they're doing another game.
Or a remaster of the original.
I hope it ain't a fucking remaster. I'm not sick of remasters, that's the wrong way of putting it, but come on. That could just quite as easily have a new game. It wasn't story heavy, it doesn't need a remaster.
No.
Remaster all the things. Especially when they're fucking PS1 titles.
Yeah. A lot of story heavy games, I kind of get it, and it's worked really well for a couple of games, which one is what I've been playing, so I'll talk about that later. But Yeah, no, some of them he just doesn't need it. Like that medieval that they're bringing out, that really didn't need it.
No.
That could have just been a sequel.
Yeah, see, I kind of feel the same for the most part. I think I've learnt my lesson with remasters and HD classics and all that kind of shit. I don't bother. I never finish them. I get halfway through and go, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I'm gonna play something else.
I don't plan to ever play another remaster again. I don't think there's anything that they could possibly release in a remaster that I would be interested in playing, and I'm including Mass Effect into this.
But I got on my PS3. I got halfway through the Prince of Persia trilogy. I got halfway through the Tomb Raider one. I got halfway through the Devil May Cry one. And each time I went, no. Why am I spending 30 quid on these games? I cannot be fucking bothered. So when we get these nice shiny new releases, I wanted to play Beyond again on PS4 because they both got re-released, didn't they, on PS4?
Yeah.
But I looked at it and went, no, because I've played it, and I'll get halfway through and go, I want to play something else, and I've wasted 20 quid. I'm good. I'll wait.
John, you're full of shit as well. You would absolutely play Mass Effect if they remastered it.
If they were to make a 4 or 8K remaster of Mass Effect, I would probably not play it on the grounds that it just doesn't need that. It's not old enough that you couldn't just go, well, we'll just update it.
Yeah. Okay. There's still a few games I think that I would play. But I'm certainly not in a rush. I'd rather see some new IPs, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And they're based on a lot of the new IPs that have come around in the last year. It's probably not worth it.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Not necessarily new IPs. I'd rather new games in franchises, like a new Ape Escape, for example.
Yeah. Well, even new games. Yeah. I'd like either.
Yeah. I would go out and buy and I did previously. I would go out and buy a remastered Killzone trilogy, probably, just for the chance to play Killzone 2 online again, and to play Killzone 2 again because it's amazing, but with better controls. But apart from that, no. I'd rather new Killzone or new Ape Escape.
A sequel to Killzone Shadowfall would be nice.
Yeah, Killzone's not been around for a lot. I mean, I know it's one of your favourite games, but I'm surprised they've not brought anything up. What was the Shadowfall, the last one?
Yeah, but then they went on and done Horizon, didn't they?
Oh, well, yeah, and that was fucking great.
Well, not only was it fucking great, it was their best-selling title ever, which, considering Shadowfall was a launch title
yeah,
with the PS4, so you're almost certain that they went on straight away to working on the next one. Plus, I would bet a lot of their tech guys are working with Kojima because Kojima's using the Killzone engine for Death Stranding.
I can't believe that's actually got a release date.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Mysteriously going to get a 3-year delay.
Did you see some geezer had he said that he was interested what Death Stranding would look like if it was a PS1 game, and basically redid the whole trailer in PS1 graphics.
Oh my god!
You got to check it out. It's bizarre. It's literally like watching a really shitty version of Metal Gear Solid, the original like, blocky faces. It's quite funny. I don't know why, but some people have got way too much fucking time on their hands.
They really have.
I kind of want to see what Norman Reedus would look like if he was a PlayStation 1 character.
He would still look like Norman Reedus.
Yeah, he would.
He doesn't really look like that. He just looks like a big block with a beard.
So they've basically done Death Stranding in Minecraft.
Yeah, almost. Well, I mean, PS1 graphics were basically Minecraft anyway.
Yeah.
It just kind of half reminds me of GoldenEye graphics with from the N64, the Pierce Brosnan attempted face.
Yeah. Yeah, that was gash.
Ape Escape. Oh, Lee, you mentioned something about Final Fantasy content.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14's having or getting or had a massive update. I think it was called Shadowbringers, for those that do play big MMOs like that. I'm not one personally, but and Monster Hunter's getting Iceborne as well, which is shaping up to look pretty good from as far as I can tell. Again, not a player, so I don't know, but a lot of people are saying it's good. So
yeah, I think Owen plays or used to play Monster Hunter. So the guy that ran Foul Critics for a while. He's been on with us a couple of times.
Yeah, I know a couple of Monster Hunter players. I don't know if they're still playing it enough that they'd know about a DLC or be interested in a DLC, and rather just not play something else, I guess.
I'm always interested in stuff like that, because sometimes you'll see DLC come out and you go, really? It's been 9 years. Do you still need to make DLC for these games? And you go, is anybody going to pay attention? But then you go, well, actually, the games I like and I still play, I pay attention to, and I still get excited when new stuff comes out for them. So clearly the audience, the people that are actually playing these games, know about it. I just don't, because I don't care.
Well, there's still content going on to GTA Online, and even though it's usually just like an extra car or 6, and some new helicopters or something, I still go on to it every so often whenever there's new content just to see what it's like.
Yeah, but there's a lot of 12-year-olds still playing that as well, to be fair. Mostly 12-year-olds.
I don't think any of them are 12 anymore. Oh, well, yeah, they're probably making an absolute mint still with GTA Shark cards.
Yeah.
And rolling in it.
Microtransactions are the way forward.
They're a very stagnant.
You mean surprise mechanics?
Practice. Yeah.
Surprise! Fucking surprise mechanic.
It's not a surprise mechanic with GTA though, is it? Because you know what you're getting. So it's basically you're just it's an exchange of money.
Yeah.
Surprise mechanic can suck anything, mate.
Surprise mechanics work for loot boxes because they are basically a Kinder Egg.
Yeah, but let's remember this was said by a person who is from a country where the Kinder Egg is illegal.
Yeah.
Kinder Egg's illegal. Guns aren't.
Yeah.
In fairness, like these surprise mechanics, they've been around for as long as I can. Shit, I used to buy Panini sticker albums when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Pokemon cards.
It's the same shit. Like it's just the same shit all the time, ain't it?
It is. The problem with excuse me, fucking hay fever. The problem with like microtransactions and shit in games, and this is going to turn into a thing I really don't want to turn into a thing, but it's, well, one, I think it's quite predatory the way it's put into a lot of games, and
Agreed.
Two, it's far too easy to spend 50, 60, 70 quid without even thinking about it. If you've got a credit card attached to your Xbox and you go, yeah, I just want another one. Oh, I didn't get the guy I want, so just another one. Oh, I didn't get the skin I want. Yeah, just get another one. It's so easy. It's typical it's psychological manipulation. And that's how they're making their money. I don't agree with it at all. I think it's shit.
Yeah, I think they should get rid of pay to win altogether. Apart from in free games, if the game's free, fuck it.
Yeah, if the game's free, you can put as many fucking microtransactions into it as you like. But if I've just spent 50 quid on a game, I shouldn't feel like I'm being forced. And there are games that do make you feel like you're forced to spend extra money on extra things. Which, and it only takes a person with a slightly addictive personality, and they're going to spend a fortune.
Let's be honest. Everyone who plays any of these games where they have the surprise mechanics in them has an addictive personality because they wouldn't be playing them otherwise.
Yeah.
Just in general. I mean, we all, in theory, fall under a category of we're addicted to video games in some way or another.
I'm addicted to trying to find time to play them.
Yeah, that too.
I'm addicted to oxygen, mate. I just can't give it up. And I'm suffering for it.
Well, now I've brought the conversation down a bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Should we trundle on to what we've been playing?
Sounds like you should be hosting, Lee.
Yeah.
At some point, you probably will host an episode.
Nah. Well, nah. Nah, you're all right. I'm not a charismatic guy.
Yeah, because we really are.
Yeah, good shout. Okay. Right. Well, so we might as well move on to what we've been playing then.
So, before we get on to the what we've been playing of us as a team, has anyone played anything else?
I played loads.
Yeah.
Me too.
Brooks, what's your triple D?
I played Doom.
Yay.
Doom, doom, de doom, 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 de doom, de doom, doom. So after we played, we didn't play. After I played Rage 2 the other week and got really quite frustrated with it because it's got beautiful id shooting mechanics, but awful Avalanche open world. So I didn't want to play Avalanche open world. I wanted to play id shooter. So I went back and I reinstalled Doom.
Which you can't go wrong with Doom.
You can't, apart from when it tried to fuck me over. I'll get to that in a sec. But the thing, right, so, I mean, it would take me, I think, 8 hours to finish it, maybe 10, because I was kind of dicking around a little bit. Stuck it on the one that isn't the baby difficulty, whatever normal would be, I've forgotten what it's called.
Normal.
The beauty, well, it's not, because they've all got, you must remember Doom from back in the day. It was like, hurt me plenty and please don't hurt me and that kind of shit.
I'm not quite a pussy.
Yeah. So I stuck it on whatever the normal one is, and just kind of the thing with Doom is it's so. I feel awful saying the words old school, but it is just an old school shooter. You just run around little arenas and kill everything, and then move on to the next one. But it's not tedious or boring. It's always fun, and it's always it has this way of upping the difficulty just a little bit for each arena, whether that's adding one or two more tough enemies in, or swarming you a little bit more, or making it a bit tougher to get to the power up to get, to run through. Yeah, you grab a fucking berserk power up and you feel like a right badass as you run around punching the shit out of everything, and it is so much fun. But the beauty of Doom is that it makes it. As each arena as you go through each arena, you feel like an absolute badass. But there are times where you feel like you've only just made it, but you know you can do it, and you're not put off, and you don't go, oh, I won't be able to do the next one. You go, I'm gonna fucking do this next one. You watch this.
Watch this, fucker.
Yeah, it's just for a game that is literally a bunch of colourful weapons and a lot of gore as you shoot the shit out of absolutely everything. It is a beautifully realised and beautifully put together game. I'm pretty sure it was my game of the year in 2016.
I think it was.
Yeah. I would call it my game of the year for every year I play it. I think because it is that much fun. I genuinely, really, really love this game, and I'm so fucking excited for Doom Eternal at the back end of the year. I cannot wait.
I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a day one for me as well, I reckon.
I'm currently... I need to be careful because my wife has suddenly started listening to this podcast while she's passing the time, which means occasionally I'll hear her laughing at something we've said, and then she'll poke her head round the corner and go, "You guys are fucking dead." Oh shit. But
I don't think I abuse her that much on the podcast.
No, I do.
Yeah.
Well, that's your prerogative,
But maybe
I
not.
tried to say nothing but nice things about her.
I mean, I only see her at the weekends, and we don't really talk much. So.
Well, that's good. She's not much of a talker. No, it's a lie. She's too much of a talker. Maybe if you talked to her for a bit at the weekend, I wouldn't have to listen to quite so fucking much.
Noted. So, with the Doom thing, does that, because you love Doom so much, are you not just like, the only thing that pissed me off about Rage was it disappointingly too big?
Yes.
Because if it wasn't that big, if it was a little bit, even just half the size, just so that you didn't have so much downtime between the fucking kick-ass fighting,
this is
it'd have
exactly
been amazing.
I didn't want to drive to the next waypoint to get into a fight.
Yeah, it was fucking tedious, the open world bit.
But what the fuck?
But they've got giant worms and shit in it now as well. Have you seen the updates?
I haven't, no.
Yeah,
the sandworm stuff.
Sandworms and stuff in it, yeah. So, I don't know, I might drop back in at some point just for a quick bash. Because I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully,
Yeah.
I rented it, so I just posted it back and went, no, I'm done. Maybe I probably won't. It won't be one of those ones I go back to, because I'll be honest, I was dubious because the original Rage is not that good a game.
No, it's not. It's pants. Well, it's average, I think.
Yeah. And this one didn't wow me. Like you say, frustrated me. Was tedious, and I kind of thought, just no. And I probably won't ever go back to Rage 2, which is a shame, because id is basically where I spent the majority of my childhood when I was playing video games. Id and EA Westwood. Yeah, I'm sad that I didn't enjoy another one of their games. But yeah, the thing with Doom is, because I don't have to travel between, between arenas for 20 miles and just kind of drive around in the plain, boring-looking desert for half an hour waiting for my next fight. I just get to move on, and I can't stop watching the trailers for Doom Eternal and the gameplay for Doom Eternal, because it just looks, it's that turned up to 11. And considering how fucking mental Doom already is, I can't wait to see what they fucking done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to convince the missus to buy me the collector's edition for my birthday.
Is that the one with the helmet?
Yeah.
What's the damage?
I want a Doomslayer helmet. And
What's the damage?
If 200 quid.
Oh, I thought it was going to be more than that. That's still a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. And the problem is, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that I can't really justify for a video game. More importantly, it's a lot of money.
VR.
Oh yeah, I don't have a VR anymore. This is the point. And I have on more than one occasion said I wouldn't mind getting another VR. To which point she's given me the fucking daggers. I'm like, okay, I won't. I promise. For the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I can get my hands on one of those collector's editions, I will absolutely set up the camera and I will live stream me playing it with the helmet on. It will be amazing.
Just wear the helmet forever.
Yeah, I'll wear it to work. It'll be great. But do you know what's sadder than that? It's not that I want the helmet. It's the only way to get the very cool Mondo-designed steelbook.
Yeah, you do love your steelbooks.
I do love a steelbook, and I do love a Mondo steelbook. Mondo do some pretty cool artwork, man. So, yeah. If I can find 200 quid between now and November, I will try and get hold of the collector's edition. I don't buy stuff with that much tat in nowadays, though, so I need to find somewhere to put the helmet where it's not going to get busted, but I can show it off.
On your head?
Yeah, I can't wear it to bed. It looks quite uncomfortable.
Well, why don't you just wear it in the winter? I've still got my what's his name's hat from Delsin Row hat. Yeah, from why infamous? Why did my brain just shut down for a minute?
Then you got Alzheimer's.
No, well maybe. I should have rolled
really early onset Alzheimer's.
I really should have just rolled with a joke on that, shouldn't I? To be fair, but I've missed that opportunity now.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I still wear that in the winter. I think the kid taxes it off me as well every now and again.
Nice.
Well, it drowns him, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's quite a big hat.
So I think, but I think he'd look good. I think he'd look good in a Doomslayer helmet, and so would Nikita, for that matter.
I think Nikita would look awesome in it, and she would definitely wear it. But I just don't want kid snot inside my helmet, man.
Oh yeah, good shout.
Yeah, you get ill enough as it is.
Exactly.
So Doom, good. Rage 2, too big for you to take in one go.
Rage 2 is Doom just kind of stretched out unnecessarily. Doom is perfect.
The one thing I didn't like about Rage, once I got hold of the Icarus, which is the flying vehicle, I didn't like the fact that I wanted to use that so I could quickly get to another mission.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was missing out everything that was on the ground, but then I thought, I just want to get into some more blasting.
See, that to me sounds like the thing I get with open world games. You go, yeah, I'm enjoying my travelling, I'm enjoying my side missions, and about 2/3 through I'm going, I just want fucking done. I'm just going to fast travel everywhere. Fuck you.
Like Far Cry's helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, exactly the same.
Helicopter with guns, so you can just go to the air and shoot everything with the guns on the helicopter rather than getting out of it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, that's the way forward with Far Cry. You get pissed off with the game, you just fuck everything with the helicopter. Doom did try to fuck me though. So, like 9 levels into the game. And apparently this is quite a well documented thing as well. So I've done some Googling to see how I could fix it, and it wouldn't fix it. The control scheme just changed. Just completely randomly changed. Like, I'm 2 levels, sorry, not missions. I'm 2 levels away from the end of the game. So I've got just nothing but hordes of nastiness coming at me, and then the final boss. And what do? I'm trying to melee things and jumping. I'm trying to change weapon and I'm throwing grenades. The buttons went all over the fucking shop. I had no fucking idea what I was doing. And then randomly 2 days later, I put it on and it sorted itself.
Yeah, that's weird.
I've never been so frustrated. Because if I'd have started the game like that, by that point I'd be used to it. But the muscle memory wouldn't let go. So even though I knew that jump, for reasons best known to itself, was now the fucking left bumper,
who the fuck would jump with the left bumper?
I've got no fucking idea. It was the worst button I've ever used for jumping.
Wait, Doom's not aimed down sight, is it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I can kind of get behind that then, because I think that's just so that you can jump and turn at the same time.
No, see, I'm okay with A as jump, and it was fine. But
left bumper
pros
usually falls for southpaw controls. Usually goes for left bumper jump.
Yeah, see, left bumper for Doom is lob a grenade. So I'm trying to lob a grenade, and I'm just hopping around like a twat in the middle of a firefight. Yeah. Because it's alternate fire on left trigger, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it just completely tried to fuck me. I was furious. I had no idea what I was doing. The game just wanted me to die over and over again. And then went back to it 2 days later after playing with you guys and suddenly fixed. But yeah, I'm done. I'm not talking about Doom anymore.
Cool.
Because I've promised not to try and make you play Doom anymore. So
yeah, you did.
I've just seen the Doom song.
Stop it. Lee, anything else that you got your hands on?
I've played quite a lot because obviously I've not been on a call since April, so I've got a few.
Quick run through.
Quick run through. So I started with Tales from the Borderlands and played that through. Thought that was quite good. Then I played Borderlands the pre-sequel, and you joined me for a few runs on that. That was quite fun. Then we played Borderlands 2, that Commander Lilith and the Sanctuary one, the DLC that was released for a 4-year-old game or whatever it is, 5-year-old game.
That's the new one that leads into Borderlands 3, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So John and I went through that as well. That was quite good.
Not sure how it leads into 3 that much, but
well, I think the story from 3 will just pick up from the end of that, won't it?
Yeah.
You get the feeling. I think they were just using it to drum a bit of hype up as well, weren't they?
Just explain why there's like half the characters that were in there before just mysteriously just all disappeared.
Well, they brought a couple of the characters in from the other ones as well, didn't they? Into that. So Vaughn's obviously in it now, and he was from Tales, and so on and so forth. I don't know. I've forgotten all the story. If I'm honest,
I just want Loaderbot.
Yeah, I do now. Actually, thinking about it. I've been playing Spyro, Reignited, so that's good. I finished number 1 and I finished number 2. I've just started number 3. And,
worth picking up.
It's pick up, put down, little cheeky old platformer. I don't think I played Spyro back in the day, so for me it was kind of worth picking up.
Cool.
But it's all right. As long as you don't play it in massive chunks, it won't get too boring.
Or PlayStation 1 remasters.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one because I hadn't played it before. I didn't mind that one too much. The Crash one, I bought that on the Switch and I gave up on that because I forgot how fucking hard the first Crash game was.
Yeah, it's been a while. I probably wouldn't bother playing that myself. I remember how hard it was.
All the Crash games are fucking hard.
Well, I started it and then I've just got better games to play than that. I thought it'd be a good idea to buy it, and then I'll regret buying it, I think. Well, I don't regret buying anything, but I'll probably never really get to it. And then I've been playing Octopath Traveler still going. So that's my list.
It's a good list.
I've been playing the other one too that we're all talking about, that we've all been playing together. Special buddies. Special
friends. And myself, a quick run, I guess. This all started from me and the lads that I play with. Were playing a bit of Blackout, and we kind of just decided that we were getting a bit fed up of the one and done, but it also taking fucking forever for one and done to just happen. As if one of us playing in quads, one of you died. And it's like you just sat there waiting for either everyone else to die or the match to finish organically. It just took way too long, so we then just decided to move on to playing Siege on Rainbow Six, and it's still going strong. I mean, they're in year 4 now. There's still 4 more operators coming around from year 4. So it's one from Peru and Mexico, and another Kenyan and an Indian coming in. Plus, they've also reworked some of the maps of the original year, so it's different and slightly better than what it was before, and just general balancing stuff, so it's worked out quite well. Been enjoying playing that a lot. And another game that I also didn't enjoy in the slightest, I bought Crash Team Racing, whatever the fuck it's called, Nitro Fueled, and played it for about an hour at most before asking for a refund from Xbox.
Nice.
It's not fun. It's the...
But you're a Mario Kart fan.
Yes.
They're very different, aren't they?
They are very different, but it's not changed in any way. They literally just reskinned the original Crash Team Racing. And the controls on it are fucking stupid. There's 2 control systems. One of them is accelerator is A, and the other is accelerator is the right trigger. But that's pretty much all that changes, is that those 2 swap over.
Okay. That sucks.
So the brake is still on like B. You can't set the brake to left trigger for whatever the fucking reason it is.
I don't understand why you can't set controls to whatever you like within each game. I've never understood that. They have schemes and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, it is fucking infuriating.
I mean, you can do it if you've got an Elite, but you have to do it through the settings.
Yeah, if you spend ages and you know exactly how you want your controls to be and you decide to just have that little switch flick on the front between control scheme 1 and 2. But my Elite controller, right, the only difference to my 2 control schemes is the vibrate is on one and off on the other. Otherwise, they're identical.
Right.
It's literally for when I'm trying to just rubber band my controller, I'll turn the vibrate off.
Do you call the other one the love egg setting?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The other one, he turns it on when he's feeling a little lonely. I've totally just remembered a couple more games I've played too.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, so played Mortal Kombat 11.
Yay.
As well, that was good.
Mortal Kombat 11 is fucking superb, although I haven't played it for a while.
No, I had a friend round last week and we played it and he ate the dust about 10 times out of 12 matches. I think he won twice, and now he thinks he's king because he won 2 fucking matches.
Yeah, I had a mate round a few weeks ago and we done the same thing. I think we played about 20 matches and I think I won like 18 of them. And he was like, "Be's a button masher. I can't fight button mashers because I don't know what they're fucking doing."
Oh, mate, I am a button masher as well on that, to be fair. Outside of like one character. And then, so when the Xbox announced the last set of backwards compatibility games that they're doing for the Xbox One,
yeah,
it included 3 games that I've been pestering Xbox for on Twitter since they announced backwards compat, and it's the only 3 that I wanted, and they released all 3 in the last push. I was like, yeah, fuck for that.
Nice.
Finally. So there was Asura's Wrath for the Xbox 360.
Oh yeah.
And that's like a big sort of comic book-esque Basically the whole QTE over the top fucking crazy shit game.
Yeah.
But it's quite fun. And then Enslaved Odyssey to the West by Ninja Theory was another one. Loved the original. It turns out that I actually have played it on both Xbox and PlayStation, but the only copy I've got left is on fucking PlayStation. So I need to pick up another copy of that to play it again. And then an OG Xbox game called Armed and Dangerous. Now, it wasn't particularly... Yeah, so not a lot of people know about it, and not a lot of people played it. But it was a LucasArts game, so, I mean, it does have quite a good following. But the game is so funny. Like, the story and everything behind it is just hilarious. And I don't know whether it's the nostalgia side of it. Well, I didn't know whether it was nostalgia that made me think it was so funny, but then I actually played it the other day and I still pissed myself. And it's mate, some of the shit that's in this game would not get through nowadays at all. There was one line, I had subtitles on when I never have subtitles on the game. But I had subtitles on, and I dropped a guy back off at his house. Yeah. And he went inside, and I couldn't hear the volume of him talking. I could just hear a mutter as I was walking off from his house. But the subtitles, obviously, I could still read it. And he said in the subtitles, "Honey, I'm home. I've got something to tell you." She turned around and went, "Are you gay?" He went, No, I'm not turned gay." And I just fucking absolutely in stitches. And I was like, the fact that you'd said turned gay, it wouldn't pass in a game nowadays.
No.
But, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to play the game. Surprisingly, the game itself looks brilliant when I play it on the Xbox One. The videos obviously don't, because they don't upscale at all, do they?
No.
But the game actually looks surprisingly sharp, but the game itself is shit. The weapons are really funny. So you've got a shark gun, which is priceless. You fire it and this fin just pops out of the gun into the floor. And then the enemy starts looking around at his feet, and then a shark just comes out of the ground and starts eating him, which is obviously quite amusing. Then there's like a topsy-turvy bomb, so he screws a drill into the floor and the whole world turns upside down and all the enemies fall off. There's a black hole gun. I'm sure you can imagine that one. Yeah. And there's a big exploding fist gun. And just like, it's quite tongue-in-cheek. But the story's really, really funny. And I think in total it's about 50 minutes. If you watch it on YouTube, you can watch a 50-minute cut of like all of the cutscenes. You don't need the game. So I'd say if you've got a loose 50 minutes and you fancy a little giggle, then it's worth watching.
Give it a butcher's. Got it. Yeah. Armed and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous. Did tickle me. Still tickles me. Thinking about it just makes me want to piss my pants.
Awesome.
And I miss comedy in games. Comedy's the winner for me. Rage was good. I like the comedy in Rage, and I like the talking. If you put the voices on, they were quite funny.
Yeah.
But did you try them?
No, I didn't. I don't think I was on it long enough.
So the Danny Dyer one's really good. But the issue is how the game forces the voice to come through. So when you do certain things, he says certain lines.
Yeah.
And the reason why you couldn't leave it on all the time, and it comes down to that open world shit again, is that if you've got like a full overdrive meter or something like that, he says a line. So I think he says, "You've got a full overdrive meter, you mag." Right? So you're like, "Oh, okay." But you've got half an hour before you get to your next fight, and he just says it over and over and over again. And that really pisses me off. And it's auto generating as well. So if you just fire it off to stop him talking about it, it also generates in a few minutes, and then he starts saying it again. And that's real. I mean, everything else that he says when you're in the middle of a fight, some of the shit he says is so funny, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, when you're out of fights, it was like, I'll turn this fucker off. I'm sick of it. But I love a comedy game, mate. It's about time they do another.
We need another Saints Row.
Saints Row or a Conquer.
Or a Borderlands 3.
Yeah, see, I never found Borderlands that funny.
Hilarious. It was mildly funny, wasn't it? What else is really funny? I'm trying to think.
I like Saints Row. Saints Row gets invoked a lot in this house. You got to remember, like Maya doesn't play video games like ever. Not
but
one.
There's a fucking tiger in your car.
But if I look at her and say, "I'm not saying," I'm just saying. She creases every time because she sat there watching me play, and she looked. I thought she was going to throw something at me. She was laughing her ass off just at the dialogue when I first played Saints Row 3. Yeah. Actual genuine comedy gold coming out of Saints Row, and I want more of that, please.
Yeah. Agents of Mayhem didn't. It was mild.
Agents of Mayhem was the occasional funny one-liner in the middle of combat, but apart from that, Agents of Mayhem was a fucking hero shooter. That wasn't what I wanted from a game in the Saints Row universe.
No. Well, Armed and Dangerous was funny.
Yeah.
And still is funny. You should watch some of the videos, I think. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I might have a butcher's.
Give it a watch.
But
cool.
don't bother playing the game.
Fair enough.
Although, I opened the box and there was a note inside the box because obviously I had to dig it out of the attic. And inside the box, it's got a list of all the cheats in the game.
Nice.
That I'd written like 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was released. And there's a God mode cheat. And so I just turn that on and literally you just pull the trigger while your hair's over the enemy somewhere and it's one hit kill. So I literally just flew through it so I could watch all the cutscenes. So it kind of made it palatable.
Nice.
Good to know.
The Vindaloo rocket launcher. That's a good one. I'll leave that one there.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that was a good gun.
Right. Away from the most fun shooter in the world to a shooter that came out, back end of last year. So it's taken us 9 months-ish to play.
What are we talking about?
The Division 2.
Nah, it's not 9 months old, surely.
It's July, mate. I'm pretty sure it came out like October, November.
Came out 15th of March.
Really?
Yeah, I've just Googled it.
Okay,
Wikipedia
so it came out this year.
March 15th. 3 months ago.
That's all right then. I was going to say, fine, all right. Came out early this year, March.
It came out because it came out just before Anthem.
Wow. We really made a wrong choice with that one.
Yeah, I can remember Anthem, but kind of like I played it like 10 years ago for about half an hour.
Yeah, we made the wrong choice.
I don't know if we made the wrong choice. I just wish Anthem was better.
I wish Anthem had had the same kind of post-launch treatment that the Division has managed to get.
That every other live service gets.
Yeah, that too.
Anthem's going to need a constant updating set similar to what No Man's Sky's had to make it anywhere decently, because at the minute it's shit and it's had nothing. It's had nothing since we left it apart from one new
but it's
not even a raid, it's like a expedition.
It's EA, that won't happen.
No, it won't. No,
it won't, because EA won't sink the kind of money they need to sink into that game. They'll call it a failure, kill off BioWare, and move on.
Yeah.
They'll make BioWare release a new game that will be a Battle Royale game.
Well, they've got a Dragon Age game coming, haven't they?
Dragon Age Battle Royale.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of that, the Division had done a great job since it's come out. Definitely since we all played the beta.
Yeah. The beta was average at best. Didn't really convince me to play it at all.
It convinced me to not play it, in fact.
Yeah, it just made me think, do I want more of the original Division, which I wasn't overly fussed about.
I'll be honest, I'm still not overly fussed about this one.
No, you're right. I've played it more than any of you guys have, and out of the time that I spent playing it on my own versus the time spent with you guys, I would gladly trade every extra minute I played on my own for a few seconds of playing with you guys.
Oh, we love you too.
Not for that reason. It's just
fine. Fuck you. I don't love you.
The game is no more difficult playing on your own than with friends. In fact, it's probably more difficult playing with other people because the enemies become tougher and there's more of them. But at the same time, there's just nothing to the game because you're on your own. It's not like with Ghost Recon where you've got the allies. It's just you all alone, hordes and enemies coming at you, and you just mow them all down, and eventually you complete the mission because you've killed enough enemies, and they decided, hang on a sec, you've completed your hack now that you've done enough enemies killed.
Yeah, there's no amazing mechanics in there at all, is there?
No, so the thing with
doesn't need to be.
No, the thing with Ghost Recon is it's a single player game with co-op evolved into it.
Yeah.
The Division was never just a single player game.
No.
It's been designed as a co-op game from the start, which actually means that you don't really get, in my opinion anyway, you don't really get a decent helping of story. You don't get, a decent bit of world building unless you really look for it, because no one's paying attention. It's designed to be played with three of your mates. Three of your mates are not going to shut the fuck up while a 10-minute story arc is put out in front of you.
I haven't got any of the story at all in the Division.
Nope. I have no idea
what's going on.
I have half an idea because A, I played the majority of the beginning of the Division 1 on my Todd, and B, I foolishly read and reviewed a Division 2 tie-in novel. That's literally the only reason I've got half an idea what's going on story-wise. But this is my point. Because it's a live service, it's meant to be played with your mates. There's no point in giving you story. It's Destiny all over again.
Yeah, it is.
And because
Except
of that,
they're not even giving you anywhere to read.
No, they haven't. But what that means is if you're stuck playing on your own, if you choose to play on your own, then actually you're just sitting in it's a very pretty world, but apart from it looking quite nice, it's pretty fucking bland.
Yeah.
You're playing a vanilla shooter in a vanilla world. What you need to play with is friends, which is why I think I've done one side mission without you guys, and that's it. And that's just while I was waiting for you guys to come online. The very second you two finish this game and stop playing, I will post this fucking rental back. I'm not buying it. I'm not keeping it. And the second I haven't got anybody to play with, I'm going to stop playing it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I've played it as much as I have on my own because I had nothing else to fucking play, because I'd done the daily challenge that I needed to on Red Dead.
Yeah.
And I can play Football Manager, which I always seem to be playing. If you ever look at me,
we see.
On Xbox Live, I'm just permanently sat on Football Manager. That's because my laptop has it on running almost all the time, and it's connected up to Xbox Live that way. So I could be playing anything on my Xbox, and it'll still tell me I'm playing Football Manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can have that running in the background and just do the occasional press the space bar on my keyboard to progress time. But be playing the Division, because there's large chunks of the game where you don't actually need to do any real control of anything.
No. So I'm quite lucky at the moment because it's just like it's that time of year. Maya's doing a lot of exam marking, and because Maya's doing a lot of exam marking, I can't watch any new TV because she wants to watch it, but she can't sit in the living room and work. She needs to work out in the kitchen. So I'm like, well, okay, this is my game playing time.
Yep.
This is how I played. This is how I played Doom and the Division and the other game I'll talk about in a minute. But the very second she's finished, I'm not going to be online 5-6 nights a week. I'm going to go back to watching TV and some films, because I've got a collection of horror films that I've bought recently that I would like to watch, but I'm not allowed to because she's working.
So we need to finish the Division before the end of the exam marking.
That's not going to happen.
It might. We don't know how long the story is.
I've seen how big that fucking map is.
Yeah, but a lot of that map seems to be high, very, very high level, closed off, as if it's the story ends at this point, and then that's post game.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we've been hilariously kept very far away from that side of the map so far.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, it will be cool too, but we'll see.
If we just smash the main story, next time we get a chance,
Yeah,
whenever that is.
But I don't want you guys rushing through a game just because I'm going to run out of time. That's ridiculous.
I'm more than happy.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to
Fuck
rush
me.
through the Division just to play with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. If we can, I'm pretty sure we could just pretty much bounce through the story now.
What, while we're talking on the podcast?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't think my internet can hack it. It's already got us recording a Skype conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine's probably not great.
Plus, Nikita's got music on the Amazon upstairs.
Right. Well, no, I meant it's like we're kind of not just going through the story. Oh, we were doing bits and bobs.
No, this is it, though, isn't it? And that's
we are fucking about a lot.
That's kind of half the fun, though, isn't it? And this is again, it's kind of the point, and it's the same thing, the exact same thing that keeps people going back to Destiny with their mates. You just dick around for hours.
Yeah.
We basically spent an hour running around in circles doing not an awful lot the other night before we decided what we were going to fucking do.
It half forces you to do that as well, though, doesn't it? That's the issue, because you can't move into new areas until you're, the level that's required.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely, it's a good live service game, and they are keeping it up to date, and they are keeping it fresh, and they are releasing new exotics and stuff, although not relevant to us yet.
No. But
it's the hilarious one of we just cleared a section out, and I'll be sat there just like playing around with my setup, sorting out my guns and getting rid of all of this shit that I don't need. Usually dropping stuff on the floor for you, Brooks. But then I'll unpause it, and all of a sudden you guys are like the other side of the fucking area, and I'm like, well, I've got a long fucking run on my own to go do.
Or the longest fast travel loading screen ever.
Just to travel 20 feet.
Yep. Yeah, it's yeah. See, the thing and this is kind of why I find it quite a bit of fun, because I don't bother about my loadout. As long as I've got a rifle and a assault rifle, I'm happy. And as long as I can regularly swap them out with slightly higher battle rifles and slightly higher assault rifles, I'm a happy chappy, and I don't need to dick around too much. I'm not investing time or effort into this game. I just want to play with you guys.
Yeah. I'm touched. But not physically.
That metaphorical touching.
It's the best kind. You know it's there. You just don't know where it's coming from.
It's the kind you expect from Catholicism.
Yes, it is. So yeah, interesting, because none of us wanted to play Division 2, did we, after the beta?
No, you're very, very much correct. The experience I got out of the Division 2 beta was not a good one.
And it's good that I don't feel quite so squidgy in this one as I did playing with you guys with Division 1.
Yeah, that's true. It's nice as well that, based on a community response to a game, it's made us second guess it and go back and try it.
Yeah. I think Ubi, for all their faults, and Ubisoft have a lot of faults, but they do listen to the people that play their games. So I think I mentioned this when we were talking about post E3 stuff the other week, but they were talking about how the community have gone. We went mental. A lot of players were not happy at the fact they've taken AI teammates away from Ghost Recon for this new one. So they said they're bringing them back. Shit, yeah, son.
Yeah.
That's a massive change.
There's a big line to draw with things like that, but when they do it right, it's definitely worth companies listening to people.
But when it's been a staple of the franchise, like the AI teammates in Ghost Recon, and you've taken it away.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then your community's gone, hold on a fucking minute. You can't do that and then try and make this a live service co-op game where I can play with other people. Fuck off. And they for their faults, they took it on, and it probably won't be their launch day, because it comes out in October, and that's a massive fucking game change to make. But they said it's coming. So you got to give Ubi their due. They do listen to their community, and they do make changes a lot of the time. And I think it's because they're probably one of the bigger companies to have this ongoing support for their games. Like Rainbow Six Siege, 4 years down the line, still popular, still being looked after.
Yeah. Still professional comps as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Terrifying looking comps as well. Have you ever watched one of them?
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. Didn't we sit and wait for one that time?
Well, yeah, that was
about
watching,
an hour and a half.
That was watching a bunch of people head into their chairs, doing little WWE style entrances, realizing that actually all they've ever done is sit in those chairs, so they can't really do that, and then sit and wait. So I'm pretty sure we gave up and left.
Yeah, well, I think I did watch a bit of it when they were playing it later on through the crack in the wall, not kind of thing. Yeah, and fuck that, mate. That's well out of my league.
Yeah, me and all.
I'm a one man fucking gunning machine. I don't do teamwork.
Hello.
All right then.
John, you're hosting, mate.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys were gonna.
I was gonna fill in. Fill in for you.
You've been filling in so well so far.
Okay. So, should we go on to what we recommend?
No!
Or is that too early?
I've got more games to talk about, shitbags.
Have you got some more games to talk about?
Yes!
Cool, okay.
Yeah. Brooke has only done his two of his triple Ds.
This is why I'm not hosting.
Because you're just not paying attention.
To
the email that you received. Brooker clearly mentioned that he was going to do a Guy Fieri style triple D.
Well, I needed another game that began with D, so I've actually played 2 other games, but I only played Dishonored because I wanted to say I'd played Division, Doom, and Dishonored, but I can't do a Guy Fieri impression, so I'm not going to. I did one mission on Dishonored and switched it off just because I needed something to kill half an hour with yesterday.
You needed proof that you'd actually played Dishonored, so you played Dishonored.
Well, no, I've been wanting to do a slow Dishonored playthrough again. I've mentioned it a couple of times recently, so I've installed all 3 games, and I'm going to go through all 3. I'm not going to platinum them. I can't be asked chasing achievements for them. Some of the achievements for those games are fucking solid, man. I'm not doing that.
Yep.
I've platinumed the first one once. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah, I did the first one, and then I started doing the remastered one, and I think I got into the second section.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, what? I've done this. I've fucking done this.
This is it. So and I love Dishonored. It's one of my favourite franchises, and of modern franchises, it's probably my number 1, and I adore it. But I don't need the frustration some of those sections give. I just don't. So I'm just playing through. I've been through like the remastered one. I've gone through stealthy and didn't kill anybody in that, because doing that is easy. But to do some of the other things you have to do as well is a pain in the balls. I'm not doing it. So I'm slowly going through Dishonored, and then I'll do the DLC, the 3 DLCs for that, and then Dishonored 2, and then definitely Outsider. But actually the other game, not a million miles away from Dishonored, that I played.
Dishonored in Space.
Dishonored in Space. I played, finally, Prey. So, if you remember, back in March 2017, I chose to buy Prey and rent Injustice 2.
And made the biggest mistake of your life.
No, not the biggest mistake of my life. I rented Injustice 2 and played that and loved it. And there was just something about Prey I couldn't get into. And I think it was because it was from the guys that made Dishonored. And I wanted something just slightly different. So 2 and a bit years later, I installed it and started playing it again this week. And finished it in 16 hours, which I think was quite a quick playthrough. So Prey, for those that don't know, is a first-person kind of... it's a sci-fi thriller, semi-horror thing. You play Morgan Yu, and Morgan Yu can be a man or a woman. You can choose at the beginning. It's up to you. It makes no difference to the story whatsoever. The only difference is each line has been where they say he, they've also recorded a line that says she, and shit like that. And there's a lot of the noun game going on, like, oh, they're over there. Not he's over there. They're over there. Yeah.
Is it a silent protagonist?
Yes.
Oh, goody, my favourite.
Well, so
don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil it for you, I promise. So you play as Morgan Yu. You're a scientist on Space Station Talos 1. Talos 1 is doing research into things called neuromods, which are things that you inject into your brain and it changes you. So you can learn to play piano, you can suddenly be proficient at guns or whatever. It's basically like the computer program where you upload tutorials in the Matrix, except you stab a thing into your eye to do it this time. While you and your brother Alex are testing these and trying to make them work better, something goes horribly wrong, and there is now an alien invasion on your space station.
Oh.
Sorry. You have been overrun by a thing called the Typhon, who are these giant black mist-looking creatures who range from mimics, which are tiny little crab-like creatures. They look like black head crabs that mimic things. So you're walking, you see a desk. Oh, there's a cup on the desk. Bang! No, it's a mimic, and now it's attacking you.
Is there any that look like chests?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
They don't wait for you to pick them up or anything. As soon as you get close to them, they change back and start attacking you. So they don't, they're not hiding from you forever, and you can't pick one up by accident and walk off with it. If you get near it, it'll attack you.
Yeah, put it in your pocket and then it just turns into one.
Yeah, suddenly biting your dick off.
Steals your trousers.
Yeah. And these things, like I said, they go from mimics to these things called phantoms, which are kind of human-sized beasties. And they range anywhere up to a giant thing that's called the Nightmare. And it's a constantly running side quest that's literally called The Nightmare is Chasing You, and you either have to run away and hide from it or kill it. And killing it can be a bitch. But yeah, so you basically have a hub in the middle of this thing, and you have to go around, you have to investigate, you have a robot companion called January who's helping you out and giving you things to do, telling you how to stop the invasion, destroy the space station, escape, all this kind of shit. And then it goes on a very Bioshock-like wander through the space station. So this game looks and feels like space Bioshock with a very, very healthy dose of Dishonored's DNA to it. And what I mean by that is, if you've played Dishonored, like even things like the HUD, so you walk up to a railing and it'll say press A to climb, but the way it appears and the little image and the way you move, it's exactly the same as when you walk up to a ledge with Corvo in Dishonored. So you can tell it's made by the same guys that made Dishonored. And I think this is why I couldn't get on with it the first time I played it, because it isn't quite Dishonored. It is definitely built in a way where you can play your own way. So this is the Arcane thing, isn't it? They do it with Dishonored, they've done it with Prey, and they said they're going to do it with their new one, this Deathloop they announced at E3. Play your way. Kill everything, don't kill everything. Make a noise, sneak around everywhere. That is their kind of creed. And you can definitely do that in Prey. The problem is, and when you start this, when you start playing Prey, Lee, I would love to know if you get the same impression. It doesn't feel like you should be sneaking. It doesn't feel like that's a valid way to play the game, because there are things everywhere that are attacking you. Sneaking around and not killing things doesn't seem like the way forward. So by the time I actually feel powerful enough and skilled enough to start sneaking around and not make a mess of the place, I'm 4 hours in and I've fucked everything so far. I don't necessarily think that's a problem with the game. That's just kind of how I saw it. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to go back and try and sneak my way through the game, because I've got other games I want to play. I loved Prey, I really did, but I've got other games I want to play. I purposely played the Evil kind of playthrough.
Okay. Oh, so there's like a...
There's not really a morality system, if you like, and it's not as cut and dry as, say, Dishonored. Whereas if you kill everybody, there's rats everywhere and everyone hates you, and by the time you get
used to tickle me.
Yeah, by the time you get to the end of Dishonored, the guy on the boat fucking loathes you if you've been killing people.
Yeah,
it's amazing the way he fucking turns against you, and you feel like a right arsehole. It's not quite that black and white with Prey. You can't quite... It's not obvious what are the good answers, what aren't. It's more along the lines of if you spend the time to try and help people that contact you or not. You get a couple of timed missions or timed side missions, where somebody might die if you don't get to them in time, or someone might die if you don't get around. I'm like, well, I'll be honest, I'm in the middle of something and you kind of interrupted me, so if you're still around when I'm done here, I'll come get you, but if not, well, tough. So yeah. I wasn't purposely being a dick about it, but at the same time I wasn't going out of my way to finish every side mission there is. Because I'll be honest, by the time I got to the end, the amount of side missions that were in my list that were waiting or failed, I could have been playing this game for 40 hours easily. And I think if I'd have been in a better mindset when I first started playing the game, I would have gone through and tried to do everything. But now I just want to go and play something else.
Yeah, when I bash it, I'm going to just stick it on story and just roll through the story and not bother about anything else.
Now, the story is amazing. It does have that Bioshock thing where they know it's Bioshock in space. And everybody that's played Bioshock knows that there's a fucking twist coming. And they know that players know that there's a twist coming. So they dick you around a lot with that story. I appreciated it, I have to admit, because I don't do it on purpose, but I can always figure out the ending. And I've been that way with films for a long time. Bioshock I didn't, which I appreciated. But I do appreciate that they're messing me around and sending me in different directions. And by the time you get to the end, you're like, well, I'm pretty sure I know how this is ending. But is it? Is it really? Turns out it is. But the really good bit, when you get to the end, make sure you stick to the... You don't have to watch them, you can skip past them, but the game isn't actually over until you get past the credits. And when you get past the credits, there's this scene... it takes 5 minutes, but it's... All of your decisions are played out in front of you, and if you play the evil... it's not an evil ending, but if you get what would be the bad ending, which I did, you kind of go... It didn't bother me, because it wasn't like I'd purposely decided to not do something, but you get to things like all of your bad decisions are laid out in front of you, and you're like, oh, okay. This is like when I was forced to walk through all those white phosphorus burnt bodies in Spec Ops. You're just forcing me to relive my mistakes over and over again. Fuck you. So then I did go for the evil choice once they did that to me, because fuck them.
Yeah.
But no, definitely play it. I played it on story mode because I knew how difficult it was going to get, so I wasn't interested in arming myself to the teeth and fighting everything for hours on end. I was interested in playing the story. I don't care. Call me a pussy all you like. I like story mode. I like to play the games. And
pussy all you like.
I like to... If someone's going to put effort into writing a story for me, I want to enjoy the story. You know... And I don't want to be throwing my controller in frustration. I'm 36 years old, man. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah, well, most of us have got disposable incomes at our age, well, at least some, enough to buy new games reasonably regularly.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we just want a new story. We don't want to be sitting playing the same game for 6 years. We just want a story and get on to the next story and get the fill. And
if From Software are listening, I will day one buy Sekiro if they put a fucking easy mode in it.
I would agree with you on that. I believe we've discussed that previously as well.
I think we have, yeah.
Amazing, but I'm a pussy. I'm not going to play that shit.
No, I don't have the time. Who's got the time to fight the same boss battle 9 times for 15 hours? No.
Streamers.
I've got a job that's not streaming, and a kid who doesn't play games. You know.
Yeah.
She plays Mario Kart.
She does. She is, to be fair, the only reason I still own a Switch. Because I don't play my Switch for fuck all. But yeah, that's my Prey. I was so chuffed. You know what? Because I had the day off work yesterday, and I was like, I really want to finish Prey. It would be really cool to have finished Doom and Prey and be able to talk about them both on a podcast. Because most of my podcast things like, well, I didn't have much time to play, but I did play 3 hours of this particular 45-hour game. Yeah. So it's nice to finish a couple of games. It doesn't matter if I finished them before or not. It was just, a sense of satisfaction at the end. But yeah,
cool.
That's me done.
Yeah, I totally agree. It can be nice to just have a game to just hit and play on an easy difficulty, smash the story out that's not organic. Well, just decidedly longer than it needs to be, just because they added in a really, really fucking large map for no reason.
Yep. Well,
let's have a 4-hour game of story, but it takes you 15 hours to get from point A to point B. And you have to do that 9 times.
Yeah, it's basically Rage 2. But this is why I've put Dishonored on. I know the story. I enjoy playing the story over and over. I must have finished Dishonored 8 times. I really like Dishonored. But, I stuck it on normal and I'm just flying through, killing some folk and enjoying my time with it. That's what I want from my games. I don't want frustration with combat and controls randomly changing so that jump is now the left bumper.
I want that to happen to you in every game now.
Fuck you. I want it to happen to you.
Just randomly, after 8 hours of gameplay, here you go, control scheme completely changes.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later, oh yeah, it's back now. After you're just starting to get used to it. No, I'm more than happy to play a long 60-hour story if the game is able to be good enough to draw me in early. Yeah. I'm willing to carry on.
Or release your game at a time when there's no other games coming out.
Or release your game episodically.
Yeah. I've still got Life is Strange 2, Episode 3 to play, I think.
I think I'm going to end up with all of the Life is Strange Season 2 stuff because it's going on to Game Pass faster than I can actually get around to playing it.
Yeah, so it goes on to Game Pass about a month after it actually releases.
Yeah.
So
I think Episode 2 of Season 2 has just gone on to Game Pass.
Yeah.
So still haven't played Before the Storm yet, which is all on Game Pass too.
You must play Before the Storm.
But at some point.
It's very good.
I mean, it took me like almost an entire year, maybe even longer, to play the first season.
I know.
So, and I managed to avoid spoilers the entire time,
which is not bad.
I did too, but I couldn't even tell you what the spoilers were now because I've forgotten. I've literally forgotten the whole game.
I wasn't even aware that there was like anything to do with Life is Strange to the point of the whole time travel mechanic. I had no idea that was in it. At all.
Yeah.
I just had it's a teen drama as the only spoiler.
That's all I kind of remember it being.
I remember it leaving me in bits on more than one occasion and leaving me really fucking cold at the end of one episode. And me just like, got to the end of the episode and I just jaw on the floor. I was like, my fucking god, they did not just do that.
So end of 3, start of 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
anyway,
that's games done.
Games are all played and everyone's happy with it. Do people actually have recommendations?
I do.
Yeah.
All right then, fine. Go ahead.
Go on and Lee, you first, mate.
Okay, so another game that I've played since April. It's called The Messenger.
Oh yeah.
So obviously you guys and whoever may already know that I'm pretty big into my Metroidvania style games. I've got a thing for them at the minute. And this one was one of the ones that was on a list of these are the ones that you should play kind of lists, you know. And so I picked it up on Switch and I loved it. start to finish,
Nice.
in about 2 sittings, and it's funny as well. It's another funny game. It's a funny game too. So that's really good. So if you get a chance to pick that up, it's on PlayStation as well, I think, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper on PlayStation. It's like half the price, obviously.
That does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a cross between Metroid and not Metroid. I suppose Metroid, Castlevania, and kind of it's got a Shinobi feel to it, obviously as well. You'll see why. It's all ninja shit. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Enjoyed that. So that's my recommendation to anyone. Just pick that up.
Cool. My
Brooks?
recommendation will be: do you guys? Well, I'm assuming you do, but you guys familiar with the Humble Bundle?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've bought multiple Humble Bundles and never played any of the stuff in it.
Well, so occasionally the Humble Bundle, Humble, do a PlayStation Humble Bundle. So usually it's THQ stuff or Deep Silver stuff as it is now. So like on more than one occasion, you've had the opportunity to buy like 2 Saints Row games and a couple of Metro games and Destroy All Humans and a couple of Red Faction games for 10 quid. But today I think it went up and it's up for the next 20 days. So you've got plenty of time once this goes up. So by the time the episode goes up, you'll have 2 weeks. Is the PlayStation Indie Bundle 2019. So if you pay $15, which is what, 13 quid, give or take, you will get Grim Fandango Remastered, which I can personally vouch for. I bought it day one and played it and platinumed it, and it's fucking amazing.
Is that the one with the weird skeleton thing?
Yeah, Manny.
Okay.
Bard's Tale, Inner Space, Layers of Fear, Wasteland 2, Director's Cut, The Talos Principle, Broken Age, Killing Floor 2, and Shadow Warrior 2. Plus the Grim Fandango soundtrack, which is awesome. The Inner Space, Broken Age, and Layers of Fear soundtracks. I know the Layers of Fear one's quite good. I've not played Layers of Fear, but I have watched a lot of it on YouTube, and the soundtrack is pretty damn good. But yeah, 13 quid, all of those games. And
Pretty decent bundle.
Yeah, and the only caveat is it doesn't work on UK PSN accounts, so you need to have an American one. Well, I do, so.
Yeah. Works out nicely for you then.
Well, it's a bit like iTunes or pretty much any other service. It's almost mandatory to have one for several other territories for services you use, just because extra stuff.
Yeah, you need those extra regions worth of kit and.
Well, I've had an American account since for PlayStation since about 3 weeks after I bought my first PlayStation 3, just because there was more stuff on their store and it was cheaper and it would come out earlier. So
yeah, back when the exchange rate was really favourable in our way, you just buy a load of like dollar cards.
Yeah. I did then. I had foreign accounts back when the pound wasn't a pile of shit.
Yeah.
But I don't bother to. I ain't got fucking time to play the games I have got. Never mind all the other shit I get for free.
Yeah. But yeah, for 15 quid, I'll probably pick that up and they can sit there. Although I own Grim Fandango already, and a lot of those are available on Game Pass. So swings and roundabouts. If you don't have Game Pass, if you've got a PlayStation,
if you've only got a PlayStation, it's a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is a bargain. And Humble's always worth keeping an eye on. I don't buy any of their stuff for PC anymore because I don't even remotely play games on PC. But they do occasionally get a good PlayStation one, so you never know. But yeah, that's my recommendation.
Nice. I can't decide between the two, so I'm going to actually just give you both. On Games with Gold, you've got Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, gone on backwards compatible Games with Goldness until the 15th.
Nice.
And Middle-earth Shadow of War is available on Game Pass, both for console and PC.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. I should get on and finish Shadow of Mordor at some point. Another game I've owned for years and not finished.
The ending to Shadow of Mordor is not good.
That does not surprise me.
Because like considering how good the rest of the game is, they kind of really either A, rushed the ending, or B, gave it the Deus Ex Human Revolution treatment for an ending.
Nah.
It didn't really need to. I don't know. I was always disappointed with those. The games were great, but the story was always disappointing. I just don't like the whole shoehorning it in just to try and fit it in the same part of the universe that the Fellowship was in. That annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, so that's kind of the bit that put me off. I'm not that fond of the series, the stories, the lore. I'm not that big a fan, so it doesn't really do much for me.
But for an action game, the combat in it was just fucking spectacular.
Oh yeah, it was the most Assassin's Creed game to come out that year.
Yeah, we both loved that fucking game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just never finished it.
Yeah, if at any point you do get around to finishing it, then absolutely you need to get around and finishing it.
Yeah, I would like to, but it's a long game, and again, it's a commitment when I've got other games that I do want to play.
And you'll probably need to start from the beginning because you'll have forgotten all the controls and the combos.
Yes, that's for sure. Cool.
There's another 30 hours worth of your time you just lost if you ever want to finish it.
Well, maybe next year when Maya's marking exams next year.
And there's no Division 3.
Yeah.
Or no, because it'll be Ghost Recon around then.
It will.
Playing. Although you can play single player.
I can do it on my Stadia using Uplay Plus.
No, you'll be too busy playing Destiny on your Stadia.
True.
Because it comes... The Destiny... If you've got a Founder Edition...
I do.
Destiny comes with a buddy copy.
Nice.
So you get to give a copy of Destiny 2 to a buddy.
Even though everybody will already have it. Yeah,
because no one's buying a Stadia unless they're buying the Founders Edition.
It's the only version you can buy at the moment, isn't it?
Exactly.
I'm not there for the edition. I'm there because it looks like a cool technology that I might get some use from.
The Founders Edition special blue controller.
Yep. Bit like the Project Scorpio Xbox One that means absolutely nothing now that the Xbox One X is everywhere.
Yeah. All you get is that little laser etching on the front and a minor change to the motherboard. Where it's got a Master Chief etched into the motherboard.
Nice. It's good that I can see that.
Yep, it's perfect. I still have my Scorpio controller just sitting in its packaging.
Yep, so do I. I've not touched my Scorpio controller.
I don't like the classic controllers.
No.
Elite or not at all.
Yeah. I will be...
Well, on the plus side, everything's going to work with the Scarlet.
Yeah.
So that's a bonus.
Yeah.
I'm super chuffed about that because that means all of my old Xbox 360 fight pads are going to work, and I have missed those fight pads. They were fucking great, and the ones that they released, like when I bought Street Fighter 5 on the PlayStation, which itself was a fucking disappointment because I don't play shit on the PlayStation. But I bought the fight pad with it, and it was fucking gash. It was rubbish in comparison to those big chunky ass ones that they brought out on the 360.
Nice.
So I'll be happy to start playing with those fighting games with those again.
Awesome.
Very chuffed.
This is where you need to buy like a £50 attachment so it will work on your new...
Well, they're saying that from the rumour as it is, anything USB ported in, it should be fine. So they should theoretically be fine. It's the things like the Kinect and stuff they're all going to need the adapters.
Connect.
I know. People had that. I had that.
I had that.
Yeah. I had one. I had one on the 360.
I didn't bother with the 360. I sold the one that I got with the Xbox One when they announced that they were going to stop producing the adapter. I applied for one, got one for free, and then I sold it for £125.
Fucking hell.
With my Xbox, with the Kinect, so I made a bit of cash back, so I was quite chuffed about that.
Nice.
Although it probably could be worth a fortune.
If you take your Kinect to a game, they'll give you £2 for it.
Bargain. Whereas if you had the adapter, they give you a fortune.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess that's there you go. So if you've got a Connect adapter, then you are literally living on free money right now.
Because you're definitely not using it for your Connect.
No, no one's using their Connect at all. Even people who have their Connect plugged in aren't using their Connects.
No.
So I guess that's us all kind of wrapped up nicely in a neat little package. So Lee, got a self-plug apart from the one up your ass?
Yeah. No, that's the only one.
Where can people find you, my friend?
They can find me on Twitter, probably the best place, or on Xbox. So it's just Pyro Loveridge. You'll find me.
Brooks, how do people know who you are?
You can find me on Twitter and Xbox at Pyro Loveridge.
Yay! Or just in general, they can hear you bellowing obscenities.
Yeah, you'll hear me screaming. There'll be something pissing me off that I'll be shouting about, and you'll hear it.
Yep. And myself, I'm the John_CU on Twitter. Xbox Live, I'm Long Dong Silver.
You couldn't keep the joke going.
What?
Don't worry.
I'm not here to mess around, my friend. This is a professional outfit run by professional people doing professional things.
You're aware that our Skype conversation today started with the words penises and penis hers.
Of course I'm aware of that. I replied back with "fuck you."
How very professional of you.
Exactly. I'm not going to get fired for inappropriate language at any moment.
No.
And if you don't like any of us, especially Lee, as individuals, then you can find us together as the lovely team we are of Character Unlock on Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Bebo. Other social media platforms are available. And this podcast, which only Lee listens to. And apparently Brooker's wife.
Only when she's run out of other podcasts. She was getting desperate, clearly.
Well, she did marry you.
Yeah, but that wasn't getting desperate. That's beyond desperate. I did have to ask her at one point if she was an immigrant and she was hoping to stay here if she married me.
I think I've got a couple of friends that listen to at least half an episode when I'm on it. He often pokes fun at me for the fact that he listened to half an episode.
Nice.
Just because I was on it.
Oh.
So that's fun. Still counts as a download, fuckface.
Yep. a whole extra person. Good. I'm glad you bring something to the table, Lee.
Charisma?
And cyberbullying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, I guess we're all done, lads. Just say good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Excellent.
Doom de doom 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 doom.
Stop it.
Doom de doom doom de doom doom. Doom de doom doom doom.